Have you ever wondered why you're not where you want to be in life? Why, despite your efforts, something always seems to hold you back? Maybe, just maybe, it's because you've been looking in the wrong direction all along. You've been focused on everyone but yourself. The world constantly bombards you with comparisons, what others are achieving, what they have, how they're succeeding, and you can't help but feel like you're falling short. But here's the truth. The key to your greatness lies not in comparing yourself to others, but in turning inward. It's time to focus on yourself, to reclaim your power, and to realize that the path to success begins with one simple step: you. Most of us spend so much time measuring our worth by other people's standards. We look at someone else's life and think, if only I had what they have, or if only I could be as successful as they are. But that mindset only keeps you stuck. You waste energy wishing for what others have, when all that energy could be channeled into becoming the best version of yourself. It's not about how others are doing, it's about how you are doing. When you shift your focus from the outside world to the world within, you unlock a power that no one can take away from you. And it's this power that will ultimately lead you to your success. Too often, we allow the opinions and judgments of others to dictate our choices. We let fear of what others think hold us back from taking bold steps, from making decisions that could change our lives. But what if you realize that the only opinion that truly matters is your own? What if you understood that the only person you need to answer to is the one staring back at you in the mirror? When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to become free. Free to make choices that align with your own desires. Free to create a life that feels true to who you are, not who society expects you to be. The power of focusing on yourself isn't just about turning inward for the sake of introspection. It's about taking control of your own journey. It's about realizing that you have everything you need inside you to create the life you've always dreamed of. You don't need to chase someone else's dream. Your dream is yours to create. Every step you take toward understanding your own strengths, your own vision, your own values, brings you closer to the life you're meant to live. When you focus on yourself, you're not being selfish. You're being wise. You're investing in the one person who has the power to change everything, you. So, why does this matter? Why should you focus on yourself instead of others? Because your life is your own. Your future is in your hands. Every moment you spend looking at someone else's journey is a moment you're not investing in your own. And while the world may try to distract you, the greatest reward you'll ever receive comes from the transformation that happens when you turn inward and focus on becoming the best version of you. The power is in your hands. It always has been. The question is, will you claim it? Stay with me, and let's explore how focusing on yourself can unlock a future that is truly yours. Imagine waking up every day with a clear sense of direction, with the certainty that everything you need to succeed is already inside of you. How would that feel? No more second-guessing yourself or wondering if you're on the right path. The truth is, this clarity comes when you stop looking for answers outside yourself. The answers are within you, waiting to be discovered. The only thing that has been standing in your way is the habit of looking at others for validation, for direction, for confirmation. But when you turn your focus inward, you stop waiting for permission to succeed, and instead you give yourself the power to take control. Right now, you might feel like something's missing, like you're stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. But what if that feeling wasn't a sign of weakness, but a signal to refocus, to realign yourself with your own power? Too often, we're taught to look at what others are doing, to measure our progress against theirs. We're told that success is about outperforming those around us, or that achievement comes from comparing ourselves to the highest achievers. But what if true success isn't about surpassing others, but about surpassing who you were yesterday? The journey is not a race against anyone but yourself. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Every effort you make to focus on your own growth is a victory. The moment you realize that your worth isn't tied to the success of others, you begin to free yourself from the shackles of comparison. You stop feeling inadequate because someone else is ahead of you. You stop measuring your worth based on someone else's timeline. You start to trust your own pace, knowing that where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. When you focus on your own growth, Every setback becomes a lesson. Every challenge becomes an opportunity. You understand that life isn't about competing with others. It's about competing with yourself, pushing yourself to be better, stronger, and more aligned with your true purpose. This shift in mindset doesn't happen overnight. It requires a daily commitment to choose yourself, to choose your own path, to trust in the process. But the rewards are immense. The moment you choose to focus on your own journey, you begin to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to realize that every moment spent doubting yourself is a moment lost. And in the space where doubt once lived, confidence begins to grow. This is the kind of confidence that doesn't depend on external validation. It's the kind of confidence that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and the vision you're building. You can't afford to waste another second measuring your success against someone else's. You can't afford to waste your energy feeling less than or behind. You have everything you need to create the life you want right now. It's time to let go of the idea that success is about surpassing others. Success is about surpassing yourself, about evolving into the person you were always meant to become. It's about focusing on your own growth, your own potential, and your own path. You have what it takes right now to transform your life. All that's required is the decision to focus on yourself and trust that the journey you're on is leading you exactly where you need to go. When you begin to focus on yourself, you start to understand something profound. Your potential is limitless. So many of us spend our lives waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, or the right opportunities. But the truth is, the right time is now. The right opportunity is within you, waiting to be seized. Every moment you waste doubting your ability to create the life you want is a moment you'll never get back. Time doesn't wait for anyone, but when you focus on yourself, you begin to take ownership of every precious second. You realize that you are the master of your fate, the creator of your destiny. The shift from focusing on others to focusing on yourself requires a deep understanding of your own worth. Too often we diminish ourselves, thinking we're not enough, not ready, not capable. But this mindset only holds you back. It's time to realize that you have everything you need to succeed. The strength, the skills, the wisdom, it's all inside you. When you start focusing on your growth, your goals, your dreams, you unlock a reservoir of untapped potential. You don't need anyone's permission to step into the fullness of who you are. The only thing standing between you and your success is the decision to move forward, to take action, to focus on your own potential and stop looking to others for direction. It's easy to become distracted by what everyone else is doing. The world is filled with noise. Social media, the opinions of others, constant comparisons, and all of it can drown out your inner voice, the voice that knows exactly what you need to do to move forward. But the moment you decide to quiet that noise and tune into your own thoughts, you realize that your own intuition, your own inner guidance has always known the way. It's been waiting for you to listen. The more you trust yourself, the more clarity you gain. And with clarity comes confidence. You begin to walk with a sense of purpose because you know exactly where you're going and why. This self-trust becomes your most powerful tool, one that no one can take away from you. Every time you focus on yourself, you strengthen your belief in your abilities. You start to understand that you are capable of far more than you've ever imagined. The doubt that once held you back begins to fade away, replaced by an unwavering sense of possibility. When you trust in your own potential, you start taking bold steps toward your goals. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions because you know that the conditions are created by the actions you take today. And as you take action, you build momentum, and momentum becomes the force that propels you toward your future. The moment you decide to focus on yourself, to invest in your own growth, is the moment everything begins to change. You stop looking for validation from others, and instead you give yourself the validation you've always needed. You start to realize that you don't need anyone's approval to succeed. You are enough, exactly as you are, and everything you need to achieve your dreams is already inside you. It's time to stop playing small and start stepping into the greatness that's waiting for you. The only thing left to do is to focus on yourself, trust in your potential, and take action. Your future is in your hands. The question is, will you seize it? As you begin to focus on yourself, you'll start to realize something incredibly powerful. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. The world may try to tell you what you can and cannot do, but the truth is, only you have the authority to define your own limits. The moment you decide to stop looking at others and measuring your success against theirs, you free yourself from the invisible chains that have been holding you back. You become the creator of your own future, the architect of your own success. And with that realization comes the undeniable truth. You are capable of far more than you ever thought possible. It's easy to look at others and feel like you're not enough, but this mindset only robs you of your power. The truth is, you were born with everything you need to succeed. The doubts, the fears, and the limitations you've internalized over the years are simply illusions, mental barriers you've allowed to define you. But now, with a shift in focus, you have the chance to break through them. When you choose to look inward, you begin to tap into a source of strength that's always been within you. You realize that the key to overcoming challenges, to pushing past obstacles, lies not in external circumstances, but in your own mindset. It's not about what others have or what they've achieved. It's about what you can create for yourself. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you stop limiting your potential. You stop thinking that success is reserved for a select few, that greatness is only for those born with extraordinary gifts. You begin to understand that success is not a matter of luck or external validation. It's the result of consistent action, of believing in yourself and your ability to rise above. Whatever comes your way, the more you focus on your own journey, the more you start to realize that the only person you're competing with is yourself. Every day is an opportunity to be better than you were yesterday, to push yourself further, to stretch your limits, and to grow in ways you never imagined. This is where true success lies, in your ability to grow, to evolve, and to transform into the person you're meant to be. The path to greatness is not about waiting for the right moment, or waiting for things to be perfect. It's about taking action now, even when you don't have all the answers. It's about trusting yourself enough to move forward, knowing that you will figure things out as you go. The more you focus on yourself and trust your instincts, the more you align with your true purpose. And when you're in alignment with your purpose, you unlock a level of power and determination that will carry you through any challenge, no matter how difficult it may seem. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your decisions. When you focus on yourself and take control of your life, you take ownership of your future. The road may not always be easy, but it's the only road that will lead you to the life you've always dreamed of. The moment you stop looking outside of yourself for answers is the moment you begin to uncover the true potential that lies within you, and that potential is limitless. What are you waiting for? The time to focus on yourself is now. The time to create the life you've always wanted is now. The power to change your life is within you. Believe that and act on it. When you decide to focus on yourself, you begin to understand something transformative. Everything you need to succeed is already within you. The life you want, the success you dream of, the happiness you desire, it's all accessible when you stop looking for it outside of yourself. Every time you compare your journey to someone else's, you're giving away your power. You're telling yourself that someone else's path is more valid than yours, that their timeline is better than yours. But the truth is, your path is yours alone, and there is no one else who can walk it the way you can. You have the ability to shape your own future. The moment you stop seeking approval from others is the moment you start stepping into your own greatness. The pressure to measure up to others is overwhelming. Society constantly tells us to compete, to keep up, to achieve more than those around us. But that's not how success works. True success is not found in comparison. It's found in self-discovery, in aligning with your own strengths, your own passions, your own unique purpose. When you focus on yourself, you stop living for external validation and begin to live for the satisfaction of knowing you are becoming the best version of yourself. Every step you take in that direction brings you closer to the life you've always wanted, not because of what others are doing, but because of what you are doing. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is this: you are the only one who gets to define your success. So often, we let others decide what success looks like for us. We chase after goals that aren't our own. driven by the desire to prove ourselves to people who may never even notice. But the moment you decide to focus on yourself, you stop letting others define your worth. You take back control. You begin to understand that success isn't a race, it's a personal journey, your journey. This shift in focus is not an easy one. It's difficult to break free from the ingrained habit of measuring your life against others. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you embrace the power of focusing on yourself, you begin to realize that every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Every setback becomes a lesson, every failure a stepping stone. Instead of looking at obstacles as signs of defeat, you start seeing them as chances to become stronger, wiser, and more determined. The most important thing to remember is that your value is not determined by where you stand compared to others. Your value comes from within, from your ability to keep moving forward, from your resilience, from your willingness to learn, and from your commitment to your own growth. The more you focus on yourself, the more you realize that the only competition that matters is the one with your past self. Each day is a new opportunity to outgrow who you were yesterday, to take another step toward the person you're becoming. So stop letting the noise of the world drown out your own voice. Stop letting the achievements of others make you question your own progress. You are not behind, you are on your own path, and that path is unfolding exactly as it should. Focus on yourself, believe in your potential, and take action. Your future is waiting, and it's yours for the taking. When you begin to fully embrace the power of focusing on yourself, something incredible starts to happen. You begin to realize that every moment you've spent worrying about what others think, measuring your progress against theirs, has been a moment wasted. The world will always have its opinions, its judgments, and its expectations. But the only opinion that truly matters is your own. The more you focus on your own growth, the more you become the master of your own story. No one else can write your life for you. Only you have the pen. And when you decide to take control of your own narrative, you step into a power that is undeniable. The truth is, the longer you spend looking outside of yourself for answers, the longer you delay the incredible potential that lies within you. Every second you waste comparing yourself to others is a second you could have spent building your dreams, nurturing your own growth, and creating the life you want to live. Your future is not tied to what others are doing. It is tied to the choices you make today, the steps you take toward becoming the person you are meant to be. And those steps begin with one simple, powerful decision to focus on yourself. There is a deep, often hidden truth in the idea that success is a journey you walk alone. While the world may be filled with distractions, noise, and the constant pressure to keep up with others, the path to your success is built by the actions you take, the decisions you make, and the mindset you cultivate. When you stop focusing on everyone else, you gain the clarity and freedom to move toward your own vision. The distractions that once seemed so loud begin to fade into the background, and you realize that you're the one in charge. You don't need to wait for someone else's permission to succeed. You don't need anyone's approval to take the next step. When you focus on yourself, you begin to trust that the journey you're on is leading you exactly where you need to go. It may not always be easy, but it's yours to navigate. Every moment of self-doubt, every obstacle, every challenge is simply part of the process of you becoming who you're meant to be. Every time you choose to focus inward, you strengthen your resolve, sharpen your skills, and reaffirm your commitment to your own growth. The more you invest in yourself, the more you realize that the world's standards don't define you. You define you. The standards that matter are the ones you set for yourself. When you make the decision to live life on your terms, to stop letting the opinions of others dictate your actions, you become unstoppable. Your vision becomes clear, and your purpose becomes stronger. The power to change your life is already within you, waiting to be unleashed. So let go of the need for external validation. Stop seeking permission from anyone but yourself. Trust in your own ability to create the life you want, and take action toward it every single day. Focusing on yourself is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of self-love, self-respect, and self-belief. When you put yourself first, you are not only changing your life, but you are unlocking the potential to create a future that's far greater than you ever imagined. The only thing left to do is to believe in yourself, trust your journey, and move forward with unwavering confidence. When you finally commit to focusing on yourself, you start to see the world through a different lens. No longer do you measure your worth by how you compare to others. Instead, you begin to measure your success by the progress you make in your own life. The shift is powerful because it changes your entire perspective. You start to understand that your life is yours to design. The future you desire is built by the actions you take today. You are the one who decides where you want to go, who you want to become, and what legacy you wish to leave behind. This realization is the key to breaking free from the chains of comparison. When you stop looking outward, you stop giving others the power to define your worth. The opinions of others no longer have the same weight, because you've learned that they are not the ones living your life. You are. And with that knowledge comes the freedom to pursue your dreams without hesitation. You stop asking for permission, stop waiting for validation, and stop questioning whether you're good enough. Instead, you begin to move forward with conviction and clarity, knowing that you are more than capable of achieving everything you set your mind to. The path you take when you focus on yourself is not always easy. There will be times when the world tries to pull you back into its distractions, when the fear of judgment creeps in, when the temptation to compare yourself to others is overwhelming. But in those moments, remind yourself that you have already made the most important decision, to focus on your own journey. Each day you choose to invest in yourself, you strengthen your resilience. Each step you take toward your goals builds the confidence that you are moving in the right direction, even when the road ahead seems unclear. This is where the magic happens. The moment you stop relying on external sources for affirmation and start relying on your own inner strength. Your self-worth becomes anchored in who you are, not in what others think of you. You begin to understand that your value is intrinsic, and that no one's opinion can take that away from you. You stop looking to others for answers and start trusting your own intuition. You understand that you hold the key to your own success. And when you believe in yourself, when you trust in your ability to overcome whatever challenges come your way, nothing can stop you. The more you focus on yourself, the more you become attuned to your own desires and aspirations. You begin to understand that your dreams are not only possible, they are inevitable, as long as you commit to the process of growth and self-discovery. The more you invest in your own development, the clearer your vision becomes. And with that clarity comes the drive to take bold, decisive action. You stop waiting for the perfect moment because you understand that there is no such thing. The perfect moment is now, and the only thing standing between you and your success is the decision to take that first step. When you choose to focus on yourself, you unlock the power within you to create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and achievement. The more you focus inward, the more you realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. Your potential is boundless, and the only limits that exist are the ones you impose on yourself. So step into your power, trust in your abilities, and keep moving forward. Your future is waiting, and it's waiting for you to claim it. When you make the commitment to focus solely on yourself, something incredible begins to shift inside of you. The noise of the world starts to fade, and what remains is a clear, unshakable vision of who you are and where you're headed. This is the moment you realize that the power to change your life has always been within you, waiting for you to acknowledge it. No longer are you bound by the expectations and limitations imposed by others. You stop seeking permission to be great, because you understand that greatness is not given, it is earned, and it starts with the belief that you deserve it. There is a quiet strength that comes with focusing on your own growth. It is not about loud declarations or grand gestures. It is about the steady, consistent belief in yourself. Every time you silence the external distractions, every time you remind yourself that your journey is unique, you fortify your inner resolve. Success is not determined by how fast you move, but by how much you believe in the direction you are heading. When you focus on yourself, you stop comparing your progress to anyone else's. You stop thinking that you're behind, that you're missing out. Instead, you realize that the only timeline that matters is your own, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. What you may not fully realize yet is this: by choosing to invest in yourself, by choosing to prioritize your growth, you become the most valuable asset in your life. This is where the transformation truly begins. The more you focus on nurturing your potential, the more the world around you begins to reflect that growth. Opportunities that were once out of reach suddenly appear. The barriers you thought were impossible to overcome begin to crumble. This is not coincidence. This is the power of belief. When you truly believe in your potential and act from that belief, the universe responds in ways you cannot yet comprehend. You may face doubts, setbacks, and challenges along the way. These are not signs that you're on the wrong path. They are simply reminders that you are pushing yourself beyond your limits. The struggle is part of the journey. Each obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, to refine your skills, and to increase your resilience. In those moments when you feel like giving up or questioning your path, remember that you are exactly where you need to be. You are learning, evolving, and becoming the person who can handle whatever comes next. The only way out is through, and every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you want to create. There is immense power in focusing on yourself, because when you do, you unlock a well of untapped potential. You begin to see challenges not as barriers, but as the necessary steps to achieving your goals. The more you focus on what you can control, the more you free yourself from the fear and anxiety that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. This is your life, your journey, and it's time to stop waiting for the perfect circumstances or for someone else's approval. Take ownership of your path, embrace the process, and trust that every choice you make is leading you to where you're meant to be. The time to act is now, and the person you need to become is already inside of you. Keep moving forward with belief, with purpose, and with the knowledge that you are the only one who can create the future you desire. The moment you realize that the path to success begins with you, everything changes. No longer are you waiting for someone else to give you permission or tell you that you're ready. You stop waiting for the right time and start creating it. Every decision you make from this point forward becomes a step in the direction of your own personal transformation. And while the world around you may still be filled with distractions, the moment you commit to focusing on yourself, those distractions no longer have the same power over you. You no longer measure your worth by the achievements or progress of others. You begin to realize that your journey is a reflection of the strength you have within. When you begin focusing inward, you tap into a deeper layer of yourself that's been there all along. The fear, doubt, and uncertainty that once held you back begin to lose their grip. You start to trust yourself more than ever before. You start to trust that you are capable, that you have everything it takes to succeed, and that you can rise above whatever obstacles come your way. The only thing that can stop you now is you. The world may try to tell you that you're not enough or that you're not doing enough, but when you're focused on your own growth, those voices fade into the background. You realize that your worth has never been tied to the validation of others. It has always been tied to your own belief in yourself. Every day that you choose to invest in yourself is a day that brings you closer to the person you're destined to become. Your self-worth isn't defined by external accomplishments or accolades. It's defined by the consistency and commitment you put into becoming a better version of yourself. The process of growth is ongoing, but each day that you take focused action, you get one step closer to living the life you desire. It's not about rushing the process. It's about embracing every moment and every challenge, knowing that you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable with each passing day. When you stop measuring yourself against the successes of others, you give yourself the freedom to create your own success. You stop holding yourself back, waiting for the perfect moment to act. You understand that the perfect moment is now. It's in this moment, in the choices you make today, that your future is shaped. The power to create the life you want has always been within you, waiting to be unleashed. And the only thing standing between you and that life is the decision to focus on your own path. No one else can walk your journey for you. No one else can build the life you're meant to create. That responsibility rests solely on your shoulders. The moment you embrace this truth, you begin to step into your own power. The obstacles you once feared become opportunities for growth. The challenges you once avoided become the stepping stones to your success. You are the architect of your future, and every choice you make shapes the life that is unfolding before you. Keep moving forward, believing in yourself, and embracing the journey. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you to claim it. And it all starts with focusing on yourself. When you make the choice to focus on yourself, you free yourself from the weight of comparison. It's as though a veil is lifted, and for the first time you see the full potential within you. This is where your true power lies, in the ability to define your worth based on your own actions, decisions, and values. Every time you let go of someone else's path and start walking your own, you're claiming your independence. You stop living for others and begin living for yourself. It may feel like a leap, a risk, but in reality, it's the most certain path to fulfillment and success you will ever take. The more you focus on yourself, the more you understand that the challenges you face are not barriers to your growth. They are the very things that shape you into who you're meant to become. Every difficulty, every setback, every obstacle is part of your evolution. When you stop looking to others for guidance and start looking within, you find the strength to face whatever comes your way with unwavering confidence. The truth is, you have the tools to overcome anything, but you must first believe that you do. Once you recognize that your power lies in your own choices, you stop being a victim of circumstance and become the creator of your reality. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean ignoring others or cutting yourself off from the world. It simply means that your energy and attention are directed inward. You stop measuring your progress against anyone else's. You understand that your journey is uniquely yours, and the only competition you face is the one within yourself. This shift in perspective is everything. Instead of feeling defeated by what others are doing, you become energized by what you are doing. You begin to take pride in your growth, no matter how small the steps may seem. Each decision, each action, each step forward is a victory in itself, and it builds momentum toward the life you want to create. The more you invest in your own development, the more you realize that you are the only one who can unlock your full potential. No one else can do it for you. The more you focus on your own path, the more you develop an unshakable confidence in your abilities. You no longer look outside of yourself for validation or approval. Instead, you begin to trust that the answers you need are already inside you, waiting to be discovered. And with each step you take in faith, the path becomes clearer. You realize that everything you need to succeed is already within reach. It's simply a matter of making the decision to take control and commit to the process of growth. This is the power of focusing on yourself. You become the master of your own destiny. The opinions of others lose their power over you because you've learned that their judgment has nothing to do with your worth. You are not defined by anyone but yourself. And the more you embrace this truth, the stronger you become. By focusing on yourself, you give yourself the greatest gift, the freedom to pursue your own dreams, to build your own life, and to become the person you were always meant to be. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is the belief that you can have it. When you focus on yourself, you unlock that belief, and you begin to realize that the life you dream of is within your grasp. Keep moving forward with unwavering belief, knowing that every step you take is leading you closer to the life you've always wanted. When you begin to focus solely on your own growth, you unlock a deeper level of self-awareness. You start to recognize the power of your thoughts, your actions, and the way you speak to yourself. The voice inside your head that once doubted your worth becomes your greatest ally. The moment you shift from external validation to self-validation, your confidence grows exponentially. You stop looking for approval from others because you understand that you are already enough just as you are. You realize that your worth has always been inherent, and the world's opinion of you can no longer define who you are or what you are capable of. Each step you take toward focusing on yourself is a step away from fear and self-doubt. You no longer wait for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or for someone else to tell you that you're ready. You decide right now that you are enough. The choice to act is yours alone, and you are in control of your destiny. Every decision you make, no matter how small, reinforces the belief that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. You begin to trust yourself more, to believe in your own intuition, and to step into your power in a way that you never have before. The more you focus on yourself, the more you begin to see that your past does not define your future. Every mistake, every setback, every moment of failure is not a reflection of your worth. It is simply part of your journey. You are not defined by the things that didn't work out or the times you stumbled. You are defined by how you rise after every fall. And with every rise, you become stronger, more resilient, and more determined to move forward. You realize that failure is not the end. It is just a stepping stone to something greater. As you continue to focus on yourself, you realize that the power to change your life lies in your ability to take responsibility for it. No one else is responsible for your success or your happiness. That responsibility is yours, and the moment you embrace that truth, you begin to see the endless possibilities before you. The world will continue to offer distractions, but none of them will matter once you understand that your life is in your hands. The choices you make today will shape the person you become tomorrow. And those choices, your decisions, your actions, your mindset, are the building blocks of the life you want to create. You stop waiting for permission. You stop looking for excuses. Instead, you start taking bold action, one step at a time, toward the future you desire. You trust that you have everything you need inside of you to succeed, and with each step forward, you become more aligned with your purpose. The more you focus on yourself, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more the world around you transforms. You start to see your circumstances change as a result of the person you are becoming. The world responds to your energy, and when you focus on yourself, you become a magnet for the opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your true potential. This is the power of focusing on yourself. It's not about being selfish, it's about being self-aware. It's about taking control of your life, your future, and your destiny. When you make that commitment to yourself, everything else falls into place. You are the key to your own success, and the life you dream of is waiting for you to claim it. Keep moving forward, trusting in your own strength, and embracing the journey that is uniquely yours. When you choose to focus on yourself, you unlock a new level of freedom. Freedom from the judgments of others, freedom from the noise that once filled your mind with doubt, and freedom from the need to constantly prove your worth. The more you focus inward, the more you begin to see that the life you desire is not dependent on anyone else's approval. You stop measuring your success by their standards, and you start setting your own. The only validation you need comes from the strength of your own choices, the courage to take action, and the belief that you are enough, just as you are. This is where true transformation begins. When you start focusing on yourself, you realize that you hold the power to shape your own destiny. The external world may try to impose its standards, its pressures, and its expectations on you, but when you choose to focus inward, you become immune to them. The path you walk is no longer shaped by comparison or competition. It is shaped by your own vision, your own dreams, and your own capacity for growth. You no longer look outside of yourself for answers. Instead, you trust that the answers lie within you, waiting for you to discover them. The process of focusing on yourself is not always easy. It takes courage, discipline, and a deep commitment to personal growth. But every moment spent investing in yourself is a moment that brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Every time you choose to prioritize your own development, you become a step closer to achieving your goals, to realizing your dreams, and to becoming the person you were always destined to be. Your potential is limitless. And the more you focus on yourself, the more you begin to realize just how powerful you truly are. The beauty of this journey lies in the fact that you are not competing with anyone else. Your journey is yours alone, and your success is defined by your own progress. As you focus on your own growth, you begin to stop comparing your journey to the timelines of others. The achievements, the milestones, the accolades that others may have are irrelevant to you. What matters is that you continue to move forward each day with unwavering belief in your own potential. You trust that every challenge, every setback, and every obstacle is part of the process of becoming the best version of yourself. And as you focus on your own path, you begin to see the transformation not just in yourself, but in the world around you. When you prioritize your own development, you create a ripple effect that touches everything you do. The energy you put into your own growth manifests in every relationship, every goal, and every opportunity. The more you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the more your world begins to reflect that transformation. People will begin to notice your growth, your energy, and your determination, and opportunities will naturally present themselves. But none of this happens until you decide to focus on yourself, to invest in your own future, and to believe that you have the power to shape the life you want. The truth is, no one can walk this journey for you. Only you can make the decision to take control of your own destiny. And when you do, you step into your own power. Every day becomes an opportunity to grow, to rise above the challenges, and to create the life you've always dreamed of. The world will align with your energy, and your transformation will become unstoppable. When you start focusing on yourself, you begin to realize something powerful. The strength to change your life is within you. It has always been within you. No matter where you've been, no matter what you've gone through, the ability to shape your future has always been in your hands. The moment you stop looking for approval from others, you start to tap into that inner power. The external world becomes secondary, and the voice of your own potential rises above the noise. You begin to understand that your worth is not tied to what others think or say about you. It is rooted in who you are becoming, and the decisions you make every day to move closer to your dreams. This shift in focus, turning inward, is where transformation begins. You stop living according to the rules set by others, and you start creating your own rules. The path to success is no longer defined by societal expectations or comparisons. It becomes uniquely yours. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others, you open up an entirely new world of possibilities. You realize that your only competition is the person you were yesterday, and every step you take forward is a victory over your past self. You stop worrying about what others are doing, and instead, you channel your energy into what you're doing, what you're creating, and what you're building for your future. It's easy to get caught up in what others think of you, especially when you're constantly measuring yourself against their standards. But when you focus on yourself, you begin to understand that their opinions are irrelevant. They don't determine your worth or your ability to succeed. You start to see that the only person who has the power to limit your potential is you. And once you realize that, you free yourself from the chains of comparison. You understand that your journey is yours alone, and that no one else can walk it for you. You become unapologetically committed to your growth, your dreams, and your own version of success. As you invest more time and energy into yourself, you begin to notice changes, small at first but undeniable. You feel stronger, more confident, and more in control of your life. You no longer seek validation from others because you've learned to validate yourself. The more you trust in your own abilities, the more your confidence soars. The opinions of others no longer hold power over you because you've realized that you don't need their approval to be worthy. You are enough, and you've always been enough. It's only when you realize this that you begin to see the transformation within yourself. This is the power of focusing on yourself. It's about taking ownership of your life, your choices, and your future. When you stop looking outward for answers, you begin to discover that the answers have always been inside you. And when you finally tap into that power, there is nothing that can stand in your way. You realize that the life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you, and it's yours for the taking. The only thing you need to do is believe in yourself, take action, and never look back. Every step you take toward focusing on yourself is a step toward the life you were meant to live. Keep moving forward, and watch as your world begins to shift, as you begin to shift into the person you were always meant to be.